Folks, welcome to the very first virtual open mic put on by E.P.I.C at Stage 1 Theater. My name is Jim Jewell. I'm the coordinator of E.P.I.C. I'm an English teacher here at North Seattle College. I am a lover of this fine theater space that is going to be scheduled for demolition very soon. But while we're kind of separated, I wanted to figure out some way to bring us together by sharing little bits of art. So we're going to do these virtual open mics a couple times, and this being our first one, I am totally 100% sure it will not go entirely smoothly, but we're going to try it out. We've got 3 great readers that are already connected into a Zoom call. As soon as I have my first reader up, I will be able to switch you over. You'll be able to enjoy that artwork. Then you'll come back to me and we'll applaud for them all in our separate spaces, send them love through the ether. Sri, you got my first reader ready for me? Go ahead and tell him to come out of the breakout room. Like I said, I don't expect it to go smoothly the first time. This is the first time that we're ever doing it. All right, I have my first speaker ready, and I am going to make sure that the video is pinned so we don't lose him. And I'm going to put you in the very capable hands of Mr. Joe Zavadil. So we had Joe on mute. You've all been on Zoom calls. You know how this happens. All right, let me get you back to Joe Zavadil and the unmuted version of his story.
This story starts in the heat and the dust of the New Mexico summer sun. She wanted to have a late lunch with her children alone, so the nieces, nephews, in-laws, outlaws, and the chaos were all on their own. Down Lead, down Yale, down to Ron's Camino Real. It was the first time the 7 of us had been together alone since the funeral. But no one was thinking about that, except Mom. My only older sibling, my sister, the doctor, the valedictorian, the hard act to follow, and the kindest person I know, drove us down in her giant Ford Exhibition, chatting a constant cascade of cheery conversations, compliments to us all, pulling into the parking lot, piling out of the car. One of the brothers, the cute one, the charismatic one, the producer turned director, was telling a tall tale about Dolly Parton farting in an elevator. It reeked of peaches and shit. And yeah, he just grinned and bared it. We're the only people in the restaurant at the main table, ordering variations of green chili, corn, and cheese, except the middle brother, who only ordered raw chili, because Dad's death had scared the life in him, and he dropped close to 200 pounds in 2 years. I stared over the lip of a draft Dos Equis as my youngest brother told the story of when he came out to Mom, and how she'd handled it with grace and action and aplomb. How she'd gone down to the priest and let him know that on this one, the church was just, pardon her, wrong. The youngest child was exhausted. She was punch drunk. She was clowning. She was busy getting ready to be married, which is why we were all in town. It was loud. It was beautiful. It was everyone talking at once, and no one missed a word. It was a million kitchen table dinners condensed, distilled, just pure. On the way out at the cashier, while Mom was getting her change because she always paid, she was inspired to say how different but the same we all were. And it made her so happy that we were all friends. And the door swung open, and we were blinded by the glare of the sun. In walked a man with a red bandana tied over his face, waving a gun. Nobody moved. Well, so none of us did, except, of course, for Mom. She smiled at him, turned around, and headed back into the dining room. Now, they were raised strict Catholic. They met on the city bus. Mom knew Dad was okay when she stopped to chat with her at church. The courtship was extended so he could complete his doctorate. But when the time came, they announced they would be married in August, and they'd have at least 12 kids with luck, which is, I'm sure, the devout way of saying, we've been faithful, we've abstained, And now we are gonna fuck. 4 kids in 5 years before they took a break. The most effective birth control is having children, they always said. They weren't known for outward signs of affection, for hugs or I love yous. They were known for making the best of it and quietly making do. They showed me that you don't need money or possessions or fancy stuff, that compassion, respect, and laughter were far more than, and that's what I was thinking as that gun swung toward my mom. Where you going, lady? He said, nobody move. She slowly turned back to him, smiled, and kindly and rapidly said, oh, I am sorry, but we've been having quite a party here. Well, you can see we're quite a large party. And since my son John doesn't eat fat, and Betsy here is a vegetarian, they're making a lot of substitutions to their menu. And Joe and Peter have been drinking a lot of beers and cocktails, so they were running back and forth to the bar, back and forth to the bar, back and forth to the bar. And to say the least, we were certainly demanding. And the wait staff was so kind and helpful to us that we wanted to make sure we tipped them at least 20% because, you know, that's only fair. Did you know waiters and waitresses only make about $1.50 an hour? That is all. So they really do live on tips. Regina, our waitress here, goes to Albuquerque High Night School. Go Bulldogs. I'm her math teacher there. And she has a child out of wedlock. The father's in Bernalillo County lockup 6 months for low-grade possession. She's working so hard to earn her GED, and she's taking care of her daughter, so I'm sure you can understand. Every little bit helps. So please, you just go ahead with your little crime here and I will be right back. And then she disappeared. You cannot fight a force of nature. Well, you can fight, but you're going to lose. She'll be talking when she gets back, Tom managed to get out. The thief had no idea what to do. He fled Ron's Camino Real empty-handed, sped off in a waiting Subaru. And as we told the cops when they finally arrived, somewhere out there in the wilds of Berkey, in the heat and the dust and the calm, a would-be criminal was telling his driver, it was like sticking up my mom. Thanks.
Oh, that was amazing! Great job, Joe. Thank you so much. I have to confess, I've known Joe Zavadil for a number of years, and so I've met some members of his family, and that story just makes me want to know them all even more. So Joe, you can go ahead and get on out of the way, and we'll let the next speaker get all queued up.
How do I get out of the way?
Oh, you just have to leave the call.
Oh, I will take it easy, guys. It's been fun.
Again, like I said, it's our first time. All right, good night, Joe. So our next reader was actually recruited by Sri, who is our intern who's working up in the booth today. A student currently at North Seattle College, is that correct? I think?
Yes.
Awesome. So I am going to turn you over now to Robin. Is it Robin David?
It's Robin David.
Robin works. David's my last name, but a lot of people get it mistaken as my first name. I brought my own microphone with me to really bring the experience in. And so the only thing is I've got a lot of new material, which I haven't quite worked through, but congratulations, you get to try it out. All right. So I hate when I get a tent as a prize because it's like, congratulations, now sleep outside. I had a millennial moment a little bit ago back when we could go to restaurants, and I tried to zoom in the menu by actually taking the piece of paper and going like that. And I know you're thinking like, oh my God, a millennial, like classic millennials, right? It's technology for everything. But I feel like somewhere there's an old person who's rewinding their Netflix videos before they turn it off. I hate when scary things happen after Halloween. That's about it for that one. It's just like, get over it. It's January or something. Why are there always number 2 pencils in movies where people shrink? Like, whose idea was that? Or they're like, oh, what's something that's really small, but it should look really big, a number 2 pencil? Let's see. 2 months ago, I bought a truck. Trucks are big, they're hard to drive. And a month ago, I found out what my deductible was. Let's see. That's really all I had prepped for now. Yeah. I guess that was like a couple minutes, right?
Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you so much. Give him a round of applause because I cannot, the bravery to do comedy stand-up on a Zoom call, that's amazing. Great job. Thank you so much. You go ahead and leave the call and we'll get our next person up and we'll definitely get you back into a future open mic. So, like I said, this is our first time doing this, and so we just have a couple speakers lined up for our very first try. And I'm very pleased to actually welcome this person back to the North Seattle College Open Mic, because long ago, before the pandemic, when we could actually be in person, we did a few open mics actually in person on campus, and our next reader was part of those open mics. And so I'm now going to turn you over to Gerard Menendez.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes of marooned Arctic explorers. The log, September 26th. We butchered one of the dogs today. Roberts, our dog man, was distraught. He could not sleep. He could not eat. Still, 5 dogs will not feed 5 men for 5 months. The earliest we can expect rescue. September 27th. The wind blows constantly here. The air is frigid, yet so dry that the wood from the longboat burns like tinder already. The heat from that wood is our lifeline, but it will not last. Roberts could not bring himself to eat again tonight, and a man who cannot do that which is required of him in order to survive will not survive, and steps must be taken for the good of the group. September 28th. I stabbed Roberts as he slept last night, through the eye. He twitched a bit, but did not cry out. The men were aghast, but I told them it was for the good of the group. In the afternoon, Humphreys and I had an opportunity to speak privately. He did not see the need for us to break camp and set out in search of fuel, but I told him it wouldn't be wise for us to consume the flesh of the sort of crewmen that fate had provided us without thoroughly cooking it first. He got a funny look and merely said, "I see," but he's a good man. He'll come round. Duty and honor. Duty and honor. September 29th. None of us will survive if we are unwilling to make difficult choices. I remain convinced that our best chance lies overland to the south. It's a daunting prospect, but I believe there is a solution. We will use the sled for the first leg of our journey, and when the terrain forces us to abandon it, the 4 of us will fill our packs and set out on foot. When 1/4 of our provisions are consumed, if our party were to decrease by 1, it would be as if the 3 remaining were once again just setting out with full packs. When 1/3 of those provisions are consumed, should our party decrease again, the 2 remaining would again have full packs, and that might just do the trick. I'll speak to Humphreys in the morning. September 30th. Captain Stevens is dead and I killed him. I didn't discuss it with the men first, and they had no opportunity to stop me. The responsibility is mine and mine alone. If you're reading this, then you've read his earlier entries. I believe my actions are defensible. I'm heartbroken, but I'm comfortable with my decision. Thompson ate a full meal last night, as he does every Sunday. A rather rotund man. Some time ago, he approached the group and said that as he had substantial stores of body fat upon which to draw, that he wished to go on reduced rations, that our provisions might last a bit longer. Because that is the sort of man that Peter Thompson is. We discussed it, and the captain said that 2 days a week he should eat what the rest of us ate, and 5 days a week he could eat half. But we would monitor his condition in order to see if this was a prudent course of action, because that is the sort of man our captain was. Last night he asked me how much lamp oil I thought we could get out of Thompson. I was speechless. I looked down and I saw the knife, and I stabbed him, and I wept. When that storm blew in as we prepared to leave camp for the last time, it packed the bay with ice and it crushed the longboat. But when last seen, our ship was upright and looking good. She's got good bones and well handled, sails magnificently. We've every reason to believe she'll be back when she's able. 5 dogs is almost enough for 3 men. It would be ample for 2. The darkness is round the clock now. These entries will stop if the lamp oil runs out. Thank you.
Gerard, that was amazing! Thank you so much. It's somewhere between Jack London and Jack Kerouac. That's the world that Gerard Menendez lives in. And if you've ever heard any of his other stories, they are very much in that flavor and always delivered with that trademark voice. So that's it for our very first virtual open mic. But you know what? That actually went pretty well. So I think we're going to do it again. Sri, what do you think? Should we do it again? We're going to do it again. 2 weeks from tonight, February 17th, we'll be back here with another virtual open mic. Hopefully we'll get our readers back and maybe even add a few more in. So if you want to be part of it, you can always reach out to us at E.P.I.C, E.P.I.C, at seattlecolleges.edu. And that's it for the night. Sri, I think you can go ahead and cut us off. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Gerard.